This is the C150 Edison diamond disc player. Approximately 18,000 of these were made. Back in the days where this was a major thing, when these first were in production, this would have been $150. Because this was made in 1918, they raised the price and made it $175. And today's approximate value would be $4,000. So these players have many things about them that are very interesting. The Stylus uses a very specific stylus. It has a diamond stylus, actually, which is very important for those who just get one of these, because you can confuse them for steel styluses. If you put a steel stylus on them, it will absolutely wreck the actual disc. To remove and to reattach it, you just have to twist this clockwise to where you see this little opening here, this little gap, and then you can just pull it out. Then you, of course, get this. To put it back in, make sure you see this little pin, and then you just push it in just like that, and then you twist this counterclockwise. You may notice that it does not fully go into the slot. That is okay, and it should not go fully into that slot, just because it might actually break that little tab, meaning that it actually might twist around willy-nilly, and so it will not be able to fully play, which is very bad. Back then, these players were basically like furniture. You could open up these, and this is a little storage slot for all the records, since they were, very large and very thick records back then. You should not fully close it, since, it's an old player, so you should leave it pretty much, slightly open, just like this here, to where half of it is about like, half of it is closed. It uses this horn here, which moves alongside with the stylus. To play it, you crank it. You crank it up with this hand crank, which we will do later. But I already cranked it up. So to speed it up and slow it down, you use this little tab here. And so to slow it down, or for certain speeds, you just turn it around like this. If you were looking from this view, it would be clockwise. To speed it up, counterclockwise. And then there's this little tab poking up so it stops. And then you'll just have it speeding. It should be 80 RPM. And to slow it down, you just push this little thing forward. And that really, that stops it. And then you have this little thing. This is the muffler. So you just pull that to the left if you were looking from the front view. That's the muffler there. Clearly some rats or something got to it, since it's more than likely been sitting in an attic or basement for a while. And then if you're looking from the front view, you just push it to the right, and that pushes it back in. And that kind of muffles it. And so it's a very interesting mechanism for all of it. So that's open, and then that's closed. Sometimes it's a little hard to close it. And you may have noticed this here. Your player might not have it, and of course it's not supposed to, but it's recommended. So it's a little copper wire here, and it has 4 twists, kind of like a C cup kind of style. And then you just put it here, so it's actually very good, because when you are putting it down, and you fully put it down like that, it adds a lot of pressure to it and does not allow it to speed up that much, and will actually wear it out faster, which is very bad if you want to actually keep them lasting, which more than likely, if you had one of these, you would. To move the stylus around, you can just use this little thing here and just twist it up like this, or pull it up like this. It's kind of like a lever. And you can moved around like this for a less precise way. But if you want to land it on a precise place on a record, you just move it around like this and keep it more still. So these old players are very delicate and can chip very easily, which you may see from here. Definitely somewhere on here, there, yeah. And chips very easy, unfortunately. A way to identify older and newer ones is a little plate here for copyright. You know, it will typically have the year on it. Have like a patent for the actual brand, which started in 1898. You can also identify the newer ones from older ones by the newer ones will have this little design here, which is very like a more square and blocky-ish kind of design. The older ones will actually have air vents on the side, just little slots cut into the side for the older ones to keep it colder, and then it'll also have like a little swirly design, kind of like a more Victorian style furniture. The Edison and 78 records are very identifiable. Sure, the 78s are, same speed basically. Not really. It won't really make a difference in speed really, because it's 78 and 80 RPM records, so the 78s will be unnoticeable when it's played with a 81 because it's just 2 RPM missing. So also the Edison diamond records are way thicker. So about as thick as this actual turntable plate, except a little thinner than that. And then the 78s are about the equivalent of any record, except a little thicker. And now we can start out actually playing the records and seeing how they sound.